Hey, this is Mr. Ng. This is going over the Math 5 Chapter P Test Version A taken August 28th, 2017. So the first side was just multiple choice. You're asked to solve 44 equals 14 minus 2a. I'm going to get the like terms together, so these constants, subtract 14 from both sides. I'm going to get 30, this equals 0, equals negative 2a. There's multiplication, you do the opposites, divided by negative 2, a equals negative 15. Remember, you can always take a equals negative 15, substitute it in there, multiply those together, you'll get positive 30 plus 14 gives you 44 to check your answer. Question number 2 asks you to simplify this radical, negative 6 times the square times square root of 147. To do that, 147 can be broken down. Recognize it's an odd number, so you might want to choose an odd number. I see a 14 and a 7 there, so I'm going to pick a factor of 7. 7 goes into 147 21 times. 21, it can be broken down into 7 times 3. So 7 times 7 times 3 equals 147. Remember, the pairs of 7s go outside here, and the relationship is multiplication. This is 7 times negative 6, which is negative 42. What was not circled or as a pair is the radical 3. Negative 42 radical 3 is your answer, which is choice A. Question number 3, you'll notice that you have adding, so I can't add those because they're not like terms because the radicals are not the same number. So if I take 162 and I get 2 times 81, the square root of 81 is 9. That's a pair of 9s, right? They come out, 9 radical 2. 32 could be written as 16 times 2. 16 is 4 times 4, so the 4 comes out. 4 times 3 is 12. 128 is 2 times 64. The square root of 64 is 8, so 8 times 5 gives you the 40. And I just add like terms, which is the coefficients, the numbers in front. 9 plus 12 times plus 40 will give me 61 radical 2. Question number 4. I need to evaluate, so every b value, I'm going to put in a 7 there, so there's my b value, substitute in your 7. And every a value, you're going to substitute in 6. So order of operations. So inside the parentheses, I have 7 minus 2, which is 5, and then I'm going to do exponents. 5 squared is 25, and then 6 squared is 36. No multiplication, no division, and then addition and subtraction left to right. 25 plus 36 equals 61. Question number 5, it says the opposite of negative 2 to the third power. So your temptation might be to do the opposite of negative 2 is positive 2, and then take 2 to the third power. That would be actually incorrect, although you get the correct answer. Remember, if you look at order of operations above here, you have to do your parentheses and exponents first. So because you have the parentheses, this is telling you negative 2 to the third power. So that's negative 2 3 times. And this negative sign you can also think of as negative 1. So negative 1 times negative 2 is a positive 2. Times this would be negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 2 is a positive 8. And remember, you can always use your calculator to double check your answer. Question number 6, I need to evaluate this. Again, I have the order of operations. So I'm going to look here. So inside the bracket, I'm going to go inside the parentheses. 7 minus 5 is 2. 20 minus 19 is 1. And then I'm going to do my exponents. So 2 squared is 4. And 1 squared is 1. Now, this is still a bracket, so you're still in this first category right there. So 4 plus 1 is 5. Now, you can't do this because that's addition. You need to multiply. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 14 gives you 29. Each multiple choice question is worth 2 points, and then plus your name, writing your first name nicely, and 1 point for circling the period. That side was worth 15 points. So on the back side, you got free response questions. Number 7 asks you to simplify the square root of 50, so break them down into prime factorization. So 50 is 25 times 2. Even if you did 5 times 10, you would get all of these as your factors. Notice you can multiply these to get 50. So I've circled the pairs. The pairs come out. Remember, when the pair comes out, they're kind of like holding each other. They're kind of scared, not scaring your neighborhood. And you have 5 radical 2. The 2's left inside. Remember, if the 5 went back inside, it would be a pair. They can not hold each other, so 5 times 5 would be the 25. 25 times 2 is 50. If you wrote down some kind of factors like 5 times 10 but couldn't get this answer, maybe you wrote, I don't know, 5 times 10, then you would get 2 points. Question number 8 was a order of operations problem. So I'm looking at this, I'm looking for the parentheses or brackets, and I'm going to go way inside there, right? 4 plus 2 gives you 6. Here I have 2 to the 3rd power exponents. That's not 2 times 3, 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. 8 minus 6 is 2. Here I have the 5 minus 2, which gives me 3. In the denominator, this was 2 squared, so that is 4. And 5 minus 4 is 1, so 3 over 1 is 3. Make sure you are in the directions tell you to make sure you show all your work in box your answers. Question number 9, probably the most missed question. It says evaluate. So evaluate is just a fancy way of saying substitution. It says w of x equals negative 3 x squared minus x. Find w of negative 4. So basically every x value you're going to put negative 4. So every x value we're going to substitute in negative 4. If you do the substitutions, you got a total of 2 points if the rest is wrong. Here I'm going to simplify order of operations there. So negative 2 squared is positive 16. And now I'm going to do multiplication and division. So that is right here. Negative 3 times 16 is negative 48. Negative 48 plus 4 gives me a negative 44. When I substitute in negative 4, my answer is negative 44. Let's see. I wrote 3 points if you forgot negative x. Oh, a lot of students forgot to just subtract. They may have done that. And here I wrote a note when I was grading your papers that if I wrote the parentheses and an exclamation mark, it means that you're not doing your substitution in parentheses. So a lot of times students will just write negative 4 here, and then you could do something crazy like negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7 squared. That's wrong, because anytime you're replacing a variable with a number, put it inside parentheses. Here's an example. If I'm putting that negative 1 in there, you should put it as parentheses negative 1 parentheses squared, not negative 1 squared. Those are actually different. Question number 10, I have 3n minus 5 equals negative 8 times 6 plus 5n. You're going to distribute. So if you distributed correctly, I gave you 2 points total. This stays the same, and then that's negative 48 and negative 40n. I'm going to get those n's together. I'm going to add the 40n to both sides. This will cancel, and this will equal 43n. To move this over to its like term, I'm going to add 5. You have negative 43, and you're going to divide because there's multiplication right there, and I get n equals negative 1. Each free response question is 4 points. So that side was 16 points, and then the total is going to be out of 31. Remember, you are now going to go to use this blank space, write one sentence of why you got the problem wrong, and redo the whole problem. If you got it correct, you could just write the word correct. Have a great day.